Chelsea might now have to look over their shoulder at improving Spurs. The tide has turned for the worse recently for Chelsea as they prepare to face off with London rivals Tottenham on Sunday. Less than 2 months ago Thomas Tuchel's side were top of the table and looking like strong contenders to win the league. But their title charge has unraveled since West Ham came from behind to beat the Blues 2-1 on December 4, and they are now 12 points off leaders Manchester City, who also have a game in hand. For their opponents this weekend, the season has turned around since Antonio Conte replaced Nuno Espirito Santo, with Tottenham now 9 games unbeaten in the Premier League. The Italian has got Harry Kane backfiring, and their comeback in the 3-2 victory against Leicester proved that Tottenham have found grit and resiliency under Conte by delivering a performance which goes against their Spursy stereotype. Chelsea got the better of Tottenham over 2 legs in the Carabao Cup semi-final, but the Blues might be forced to look over their shoulders at the progress made by this weekend's opponents. Tottenham's record at Stamford Bridge makes for ugly reading for their supporters, with just 1 win in 31 games when Conte was in the opposite dugout in 2018. But they are 8 points behind their rivals with 4 games in hand, meaning they could overtake Chelsea in the league, even if their wretched record was to continue on Sunday. Before Conte's arrival, Chelsea played 10, wins 8, draws 1, losses 1, points 25, goals 26, goals allowed 3. Tottenham played 10, wins 5, draws 0, losses 5, points 15, goals 9, goals allowed 15. After Conte's arrival, Tottenham played 9, wins 6, draws 3, losses 0, points 21, goals 17, goals allowed 6. Chelsea played 13, wins 4, draws 7, losses 2, points 19, goals 20, goals allowed 14. A victory over an out-of-form Chelsea this weekend, though, could have the Blues fans sweating, as Tottenham would be only 5 points behind. There have been many factors to Chelsea's decline, including injuries to key players such as Ben Chilwell and Reece James, as well as their COVID-19 crisis in December. But another key factor has been their lack of efficiency in front of goal since the defeat to West Ham. In the 14 Premier League games before the loss on December 4, Chelsea were averaging 2.29 goals a game in a run in which they had dropped just 9 points in that time. Since the defeat, the Blues have averaged a mere 1.38 goals a game, dropping 13 points in their last 8 matches. Out of the 11 goals they have scored in that time, 4 of which have come from Jorginho at the penalty spot. Although the goals are well spread across the team with 16 different scorers, their forward players have not been prolific this season. Mason Mount is the club's top scorer with 7, followed by Jorginho on 6, though more disappointingly, £97.5 million summer signing Romelu Lukaku has struggled to make an impact, scoring just 5 goals in 15 Premier League appearances. The Belgian recovered from a bout of COVID in December to score in the victory against Aston Villa and draw with Brighton at Stamford Bridge. He then missed the game against Liverpool following the controversial comments he made to Sky Italia about not being happy at the club. After apologizing to the club, manager, his teammates and fans, he struggled to make an impact in the defeat to Manchester City and the second draw with Brighton in less than a month. Chelsea fans will also have hoped for more from the likes of Christian Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner, who have scored less than 10 goals between them. The Blues looked strong to challenge for the league because of their astute defensive displays, not conceding a single goal in open play before they were held to a 1-1 draw by Burnley on November 6. They have kept just 1 clean sheet since the defeat to West Ham, after not conceding a goal in 8 of their opening 14 games. Injuries to Chilwell and James have cost them at both ends, with the Blues looking more defensively sound with the pair on the pitch, while they have also contributed to 13 goals this season through finding the back of the net or registering an assist. James should be back in a matter of weeks after his hamstring injury, while Chilwell requires surgery and will be out for the season. For Tottenham, Conte has become the first manager in the club's history to remain unbeaten in his first 9 league games in charge, and there has been a striking improvement in both areas of the pitch. After 3-1-0 victories to start the season, they conceded 16 goals in 7 games, 5 of which were defeats, which led to Espirito Santo getting the sack and being replaced by Conte. Since the Italian's appointment, they have conceded just 6 goals in 9 games. Additionally, Spurs have scored 17 league goals under Conte, averaging 1.89 goals per game, compared to just 0.9 in the 10 games Espirito Santo was in charge. Much of that defensive improvement could be down to Tottenham covering more distance. Spurs have covered more ground in every Premier League game under Conte than they did in any other game this season, and are averaging 14 kilometers more per game than before his arrival. Tottenham have outrun their opponents in all 8 of their league games since November, and the 121.1 kilometers they covered against Norwich was the furthest by any team in the division this season. What's even more promising for Tottenham going forward is Harry Kane has started to return to form. The England captain took some time to get going even at the start of Conte's time in charge, after a tumultuous summer in which his Tottenham future looked uncertain. But he has now scored 4 goals in his last 5 games and had arguably his best game of the season in the 3-2 victory over Leicester, in which he scored their first goal and played a brilliant ball through to Steven Bergwijn to net his second goal in stoppage time. Kane and Lukaku have often been compared during their careers as their status of 2 of the best strikers in the world, and both have had their struggles this season. But Chelsea could do with Lukaku rediscovering his scoring touch like the England star. Despite Tottenham's upturn in form, the clash at Chelsea marks arguably the toughest league game they have had under Conte. It is their first away trip to any of the Big Six, and Stamford Bridge has rarely been a happy day out for Spurs. Their 3-1 victory over Conte's Chelsea side on April 1, 2018, thanks to goals from Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen, was the first time they had won at Stamford Bridge in the league in 28 years. Chelsea's have won 5 of their last 6 league games with Tottenham and have already beaten their London rivals on 3 occasions in all competitions this season. Conte has made an immediate impact at Tottenham, though most of the games they would have expected to win. Their performance at home in the 2-2 draw against Liverpool and comeback against Leicester are positive signs that they can finish in the top 4 this season. However, a victory at Stamford Bridge over his former side would be the biggest statement of intent yet for the Italian.